With the end of the 1st century BC, Dalmatia became Roman, and with it came all the trappings of Roman society. Roads were built, temples were built, and economic prosperity was brought here. But they brought more than an empire. They brought gods. People worshipped these gods. They left stones dedicated to them. They thought about them often. Gods, just like now, were used as a common ground between different peoples. In old town ZADAR, where once temples of gods, and pieces of monuments still exist holding up the Church of St. Donatus.
Now, before I start, it is important to understand that the Dalmatian people were not Croats. The Croats would arrive somewhere between the 6th to 9th century AD. For the sake of simplicity, we'll focus on Silvanus for this video. Dalmatian Silvanus is of unknown origin, as some believe he was an indigenous god but put into a Roman context and renamed, though some just think he was your regular old imported god. However, it was probably somewhere in the middle. Silvanus was often depicted as a man with goat legs and horns, kind of like our best friend. How he's depicted varies by depiction, with some having him surrounded by trees and nymphs. Silvanus is very much associated with the forest and rurality, as he is believed to be a protector of natural things such as crops. So it is believed that his familiarity to more rural citizens is what made him so popular, and that in urban areas he was successful due to nostalgia and a longing to be in nature. But if you ask me, a god that isn't applicable to everyone and is based upon nostalgia for a large portion of the population is not very good. It was this not very goodness combined with a new god ready to take his job that killed Silvanus. Christianity was spreading like wildfire, and while it eventually became the state religion via imperial decree, Christianity was spread through Rome because it had advantages to the common peoples. Poor people could have practiced it at had no cost or offerings, and in a world of disease and poverty, a perfect afterlife would have been enticing. The top wouldn't have converted without the world reflecting a need for it. Silvanus wasn't killed by the emperor, he was killed by societal change. To sustain power and obtain more power, you need to be similar to those around you, and that's exactly what happened to Dalmatia. Christianity was spreading, and, well, you can strengthen cultural ties to Rome, and it's something that the people want. While people claim to live their lives for God, the gods exist for people, and because of this fact, recently, not atheism, but anti-theism has sprung up. People often see the bad in gods, claiming that religion drives people to do awful things. While it is commonly used as defense by Christian leaders, I do believe that sometimes the Bible can help those who are morally deficient become more moral, as they are promised something. Gods are not supposed to be believed, but more followed as a way of life rather than a set belief system for how the world is working. It is because of this that I say that gods will die, but in their place will spring up new ones, over and over like a cycle. Which is why I think that when we finally break out of that cycle, when we stop creating new gods, that will be when we have no reason for gods. We will be able to live in a world without gods because we have gotten rid of the problems that gods were there to fix in the first place. But for now, I like religion. Anything that helps people is pretty good to me.